weather with the KX News Storm Team.
It has been another hot day today with many of the temperatures in the 90s, maybe some upper 80s. And of course, if you're outside at all or you're basically just breathing, you knew it was smoky because you could taste it. The smoke is beginning to clear at least a little bit right now. That will continue slowly during the overnight hours and into the morning hours. And I think tomorrow we're going to have near average temperatures. Tomorrow is also the last day of the North Dakota State Fair. So if you have not been out there, the weather looks pretty nice because for one thing, there will be a lot less smoke if you want to be outside. Temperatures only in the 80s, and then tomorrow night Kane Brown is going to be doing the final concert of the State Fair this year. The concert will be at 8 o'clock, doors open at 6:30. But again, temps in the 80s, which is around normal, and we'll have less smoke in the air, so that'll be pretty nice. It should be mostly sunny all weekend long, in 80s and 90s again next week. So here's a look at the KX Cam in Bismarck, and it's smoky, obviously, 82 degrees. Southwest wind is at 7 miles an hour. And in Minot, 82 degrees. It's still smoky, but not as much. That north wind is already starting to push at least some of the smoke out. And in Williston, 83 degrees, north wind at 13. Again, still smoky, just not as bad as it was at Dew Point. Very comfortable at 44 degrees. And in Dickinson, 80 degrees. And yes, it's smoky there as well. Southeast wind at 6, Dew Point at 55. So here are a few more temperatures in western North Dakota. So we have some 70s to the south and east of Bismarck and up in the Turtle Mountains. But other than that, a lot of 80s on the map right now. That northerly wind is going to help clear out things. And I'm having a little scratchy throat right now from the smoke. The dew points are much lower in northwestern North Dakota right now, so even more comfortable. And actually, around Bismarck and to the southeast, it's still pretty muggy right now. I think that north wind, and as the cold front goes through, and it's not a very strong cold front, but when it pushes through, that'll start knocking that humidity back as well. So here's our smoke forecast at 10 o'clock tonight still. There you are. You can tell that most of the state is smoky, but with that northerly wind during the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, it's going to start clearing things out. That should be real nice. Still probably smoky around Bismarck, at least early in the day. And then as that northerly wind continues, it'll help clean the air a little bit. And by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that looks so much better. So here is an updated air quality index map. And that one area, there's just no data. It's not like the air is good, it's just no data. But that red there, unhealthy air, and that is the latest update that I could find right now. So we really need that wind to kind of get that smoke out of here. So the next 72 hours for Dickinson, 80s, close to 90 degrees, breezy at times. And then for Williston, probably 90, 92, so it is going to be pretty hot in the northwest. Tonight, we'll have temps in the 50s to around 60 degrees. A little muggier tonight, at least for the next several hours. And then tomorrow, we should have temps in the 80s for most locations. And many of those numbers would be very close to normal. And then on Sunday, we're back into the 80s again. So here's a look at the Bismarck 7-day outlook. And once it cools off, and if you want to call this cools off, yeah, 80s and then 90s next week. Look at that. It's still going to be hot. Same thing for Minot, 80s and then 90s next week. So, Nicholas, I mean, first things first, it'd really be nice to get this smoke out of here and be able to breathe a little bit better over the weekend.
That's right, and we sure could use some rain, too. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Next, how a young